and welcome on the YouTube channel, on the international channel of Wind Lounge. I'm Michele Becker, I'm a team rider for Wind Lounge and for Patrik. And yeah, I'm here to tell you a bit about the new foil from Patrik, the AEON foil, which is out since last year. And before I forget, we will also make some more detailed videos because this is more of an overall overview, if you will. So if you're interested in some more specific things like which wings fit to who, or about the different constructions or whatever, make sure to subscribe to the channel already. And in general, if you have some questions now or like during the video, just put them in the comments or write Wind Lounge directly. But let's get started with the foil now. So as some of you might know, I'm a full Patrik rider since end of 2022, so for the whole season of last year. And basically the foil arrived a bit later. For me, I had to decide before the PWA event in Garda which foil I want to use. If I want to use the foil I trained the whole winter with, or if I kind of risk it and go on the Patrik foil, which I tried just a few days in total before the event. And immediately I put it under my board and it felt kind of, I had the same speed, but it was much easier than the foil I had before. So I knew if it's like this in the first session, the potential is just simply much higher. So yeah, and in the end, if you follow the PWA season, you know, for me it was definitely the right choice to go with that foil for the whole season. And yeah, like, not gonna lie, due to this foil and of course training and other stuff, I was able to win my first ever elimination on the World Tour. Yeah, so that's some crazy memories. But let's talk about the foil a bit more detailed. So there are 4 different masts, and kind of 2 are more towards course racing and 2 are more towards slalom, sorry. And the slalom masts are 95 centimeters long because we figured out it's a good ratio between length and stiffness for slalom, and then the course racing masts are 100 centimeters long. Then we have kind of a budget version for both masts. We have the M mast, which has the slalom outline, let's say, and it is a bit thicker than the S mast. The S mast is like the highest tier of technology, and this is what all the pro riders will be using. And for Patrik, it was important that there is an option which is performing well and also is kind of more affordable than what the pros are using. That's why we have these 2 constructions. So the M mast has almost or identical stiffness, but the only downside is it's a millimeter thicker at the thinnest part of the mast. So what that does, it also helps kind of the average racer or free racer, because the thinner it is, of course, the higher the top speed goes, let's say, but it's also more nervous because if you have more surface in the water, everything is just a bit more in line and not as agile, if you want to say like this. And what is important to point out already now, we also have some cheaper versions for the wings, but same for the mast. Is if you settle for the cheaper options, it's not that it's all of a sudden a completely different league than the expensive parts, or that it's some kind of, I don't know, cheap products. It's just a bit more affordable. And I would say that even our budget versions are on the same performance level like foils from other brands, and for sure also quality-wise. But it's just that Patrik wanted to be really fair and said, okay, if someone really wants to have the same that our PWA guys are using, they can buy it, but it's just a bit more expensive. So yeah, always keep that in mind. So then, continuing with the mast, we have kind of the same system for the course racing mast. We have the L mast, dimension L. So this one is also a bit thinner than the XL mast, and but the XL mast, yeah, is just a bit more affordable, but I don't know. I think also a millimeter thicker at the slimmest part of the mast. What else? We have the fuselage, which is connected only with 2 screws, because it's a special system where you kind of almost click in the fuselage from the back over the mast, and that way, just due to the power of the front wing, the fuselage will basically fix itself. You just have the screws because you don't want to risk it, of course. And we have fuselages in 110 centimeters. That's for course racing mainly, and we have 100 centimeters. That's for slalom. Let's talk about the versions. We have V1, V2 and V3 for the 100 centimeters. And I think for the 110 we only have V1 and V2. V1 puts the wings furthest in front. So the length is the same, but V1 has the wings furthest in front. V2 moves everything a bit back, and V3 has it the furthest back. Yeah, quick overview what that does. If you move it more to the front, you will feel more power because the whole foil is further under your board. But, for example, if you move everything back, what that does, it gives you a lot more stability towards kind of rotating, because you can imagine if your mast is in the middle, it will feel really weird to be able to go like straight instead of left and right and twisting and whatever. I would say the V2, speaking for slalom people, is the best option if you're heavier or you know that you're going to be racing in light winds. The V1 is good for you, and the V3 is really, it has quite significantly less power, so you need to be a bit better in the jibes and so on. But for people who go on small gear, who are used to, I don't know, strong winds, or they want just to go steady and really quick, this is the option. And for course racing, kind of the same for the 110 centimeter fuselages. Then we have aluminium fuselages and titanium. This silver-looking fuselage is titanium, which I'm using, and basically similar to the mast and the wings. Also with the fuselage, we have aluminium. It's a bit more affordable. It's slightly thicker because titanium is stiffer, so you can make it slimmer. In theory, you can go quicker with the titanium fuselage because less drag, but it's also more nervous because it's slim or slimmer, and then it moves kind of more easily through the water. For freeride guys, or guys who are just, progressing through the levels of a racer and are more on the entry or intermediate level, the aluminium fuselage might even have an advantage for you because it's just a bit more stable. So then let's move to the back wing. You can see the back wings have quite a lot of tips, like bent tips or winglets. What that does, it creates a lot of control for you, because some brands nowadays like to go with a fin on the fuselage, but Patrik decided for us it's better to integrate it into the wing, so we don't have extra drag and extra kind of opportunity for calvitation. We integrated it in the wings, and this is one key part of the foil why it feels so locked, and all the people who haven't tried it says it has like insane stability. Also, you can move the back wing in different positions, so you can move them in the back, middle and front position, and that makes you kind of adjust the feeling of the foil without putting more or less angle, so the drag will stay the same. And basically, if you move it more to the front, the fuselage will feel shorter. It's a bit more, let's say, a bit less stable, but maybe it's good for you, for example, if you're going in an area where seaweed, so you sometimes have to push a bit in the back, so that makes it a bit more agile. And if you have it in the back, it's just most stable because it's spread far apart. And yeah, as I said, this is the top shim where you change the position, but you can also change the angle. With the lower shim, just as you know it, you can put more or less power on the back wing, which then results in more or less power in the full setup in total. The wings, we have a lot of sizes. We have from 375, so a small slalom wing, up until a 900 wing. And basically we are running with two different concepts. We have 900, 750 and 650 in a more kind of mono concave man, now I'm missing the word, mono concave like shape. And with the slalom wings we have more of a double concave. And what that does for the slalom wings, it makes you feel a lot more locked in, because the water all of a sudden travels through kind of the inside of these concaves. That generates a bit more power, and also again, similar to the back wing, just a lot of stability. And that's obviously nice for driving, because you can really just carve and keep your line. And yeah, also for stability on the reach. As I said, from 650 onwards, the front wing looks a bit different. And that's mainly because these are considered light wind wings, because it's either for course racing or it's for light wind slalom or free riding. So there we expect also the conditions to be a bit easier. So we want maximum efficiency. So yeah, that it's a bit more like a rolling movement, but yeah, that is not as bad with big sails when you're not going so quick at all. So for me personally, and this is important to know, if you compare or if you want to order something, especially the front wings, you need to take them a size smaller than you are used to, okay? So for example, the 650 front wing, I use just up until 12 knots. So everything between 7 and 12 knots for slalom, I use the 650 wing. And for PWA, for example, I only use 550 as the biggest front wing, and I can go in, let's say, 10 knots. And so make sure, so if you're used to a free ride wing, which is 900 usually, then make sure to go with a 750 from the AEON set, and so on. In general, if you have questions, either you can text me on my social medias, or the best option is if you text Wind Lounge, then yeah, the questions also reach me, and then I can help you figure out what's best suiting for your style of riding, your level, your budget. And I hope I didn't forget something. And yeah, I have it, the foil here in my 85 foil comp Gen 3, so also a new board. We will also make videos about that. So I hope you like it as just, you know, an overview, just me speaking a bit. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and then see you in the next video.